up? We in the building. Yeah. It must be Tuesday. No, that's your line.
Oh yeah, it must be Tuesday.
What it look like? What it be? What it do? We in the building. Down in Sports Talk. We in the house. I am left-handed. That's my co-D, my co-host. Got a bear in the house as always, holding me down. Welcome to the madness. We're
Yeah,
gonna have a conversation. You know what I mean? Get it in. Talk about a bunch of stuff. Um, you know how we do it. You know what I mean? No analytics. You know what I mean? No puffiness.
oh,
I let the cat out the bag. This is just what it is. Bowski, what's good? Yada Bear's in the house, y'all. Give it up for Yada Bear. She's in the house.
man, it's oh, thank you. Um, it's been a wild week. We just been discussing a couple of things. How fast this month has went. Easter is Sunday. That's crazy. Baseball starts on Thursday. Well, officially starts on Thursday because we
Mhm.
already had 2 games played for the regular season. But baseball is Thursday. Sweet 16 on both sides is coming up.
Mhm.
Starting Thursday with the men, Friday
Mhm.
with the women. So this end of the week is going to be jam packed with a lot of sports. The NBA is starting to wind down the regular season. The races are tight on both sides of the conferences.
Absolutely.
So it should be an interesting finish. And some of your favorite teams are not going to be in the postseason. We're going to see a lot of big money people not playing basketball, in April and in May. We're not going to see that. It's going to be a little wild. Um, we got a lot of stuff going on outside of sports. The other stuff. We just witnessed one of you guys, quote unquote pioneers of the modern day hip hop. On the run. Um,
Like the Jungle Brothers.
on the run. Also, I want to say, I just on the side, I just want to give my condolences to the people, in Baltimore. We just watched a
Right,
whole
right,
bridge
absolutely.
collapse.
Absolutely. Much
Definitely want to,
respect.
give rest in peace and condolences to the families who are indirectly impacted by that crazy tragedy that we, witnessed. So it's been crazy, March. The end of March has been wild, and when they said March Madness, I didn't think that we
Absolutely.
was going to get this type of
That's right.
madness.
That's right.
I thought
That's
we
right.
just focus on basketball, but it's a lot of madness going on now. What's going on with you up there, bro?
Listen, man, if if you make it home on the train safely, you had a blessed and glorious day. It's a lot of stuff like you said is going on. Maybe the springtime, the weather change, people pushing people off the off the platform. We had a couple of those
Mm-hmm.
like today, so it's been crazy. And again, man, watch yourself when you're out in these streets. There's a lot of things going on. You keep your head on the swivel. It's really important. You know what I mean? And really now, and more than anything, you know, um, you know, um, when you leave the house in the morning or whenever you go outside or whatever, making it back in and closing that door behind you, that's you made it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So again, be safe out there, be vigilant. You know what I mean? And again, respect and condolences to the families who were affected um, by the tragedy this morning in Baltimore. Man, the whole bridge, the whole entire joint just fell like
I
matchstick. Word. It was
never
it's
seen anything like that. It was like
yeah,
you said, it was like Legos. Like someone just
yeah. And I'm Navy, man. So again, at the end of the day, man, I looked at it from a bunch of different perspectives. We're not going to dwell on it, but at the end of the day, we can't speak to it. Like that ship of that size with that cargo should have been nowhere near that bridge. That's just my opinion.
hmm
Should have been nowhere near that bridge. So again, they say that the power went out. There was some kind of mechanical. They got somebody better come up with a story.
Oh yeah,
Somebody better
quick.
come up with something real quick. But we're not going to dwell on that.
Nope.
Our condolences and our prayers to the families that are affected. Um, let's get into this thing.
Let's get to the fun stuff.
What I want to talk about real quick, because I be on it like I didn't want to talk about football, especially the NFL, because we got the draft coming up next month and all that. The NFL is putting the NBA in a chokehold.
Yes, they are.
Like Christmas this year, 2024 is going to be on a Wednesday. When have you ever heard the NFL to play a game on Wednesday? Right? The NBA is held down Christmas for many years, many moons. Right?
Yeah, it's generally like 6 games on Wednesday on Christmas, right? It's generally about like 6 games, right?
They had last year the NFL had 3 games on Christmas. They had a game on Black Friday. They had 3 games on Thanksgiving. They on the NBA's neck. Like again, at the end of the day, the NFL is like, hey man, like it's room for all of us on here. Now, mind you, Kimmy, that the college football is going to be college basketball is going to be going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hockey's going to be going on.
That's generally like the beginning of like their little like their tournaments.
The point I'm making real quick is that the NFL is strong arming. They're not doing it. They're not coming through on no Mr. Politeness man vibe. They coming through it like, yo, man, listen, this is how it's going down. This is what we're doing. Either get with the program or you get get left. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's basically what your boy Penny Siegel say, get down or lay down. You know what I mean?
Get down, lay down.
Get down and lay down. That's what Roger Goodell is telling Adam Silver now. He punking Adam.
He definitely had him like, yo, get down and lay down.
Adam Silver, straight like that. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Where are we going now, Browski? Where we going? It's on you. What we doing?
Well, since we're still talking about the NFL, we might as well just jump into their rule changes. We have rule changes happening in the NFL absolutely. That went into this going to be effect into this upcoming season. One being the kickoff, which I actually like because truthfully, with me,
I knew you was gonna say that.
Because truthfully, I can get rid of the kickoff altogether and just put the ball on the 25 because majority of the kickoffs go in the back of the end zone anyway. Okay. So that's number one. And then 2, when how the kickoff is set up right now, you got these guys steamrolling down the field to an impact where we have a lot of unnecessary injuries.
Right.
A lot of guys
You're right.
A lot of guys that like is like your rotational guys, linebacker, corners. They get season-ending injuries just from running down the field, trying to make a block on a kickoff that 9 out of 10 is not coming out of the end zone, or the guy gets to like the 15 or the 20 anyway, where if you take a knee, you're going to get the ball placed there already.
Right.
And then, the way what I know what people are going to say, well, then that's going to cause people not to have jobs. Okay. Open up some more roster spots. To me, if you want to keep kicking the ball off, I'll only kick it off at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of halftime. I don't need a kickoff after every score. Because like I said, it goes out the back of the end zone all the time. We don't have that many kickoff returns. You can still have the return factor with the punts. You can still do punts. I'm fine with punting. But kickoffs, I'm fine. They can eliminate it all together, and I wouldn't even matter. I wouldn't even care about it.
We wouldn't miss it.
I wouldn't miss it at all. But I like that they made the adjustments. They took it from I think with the XFL.
Yeah.
How they kick it off, where the kicker is about like 10 yards back, and then
the kicker's in his usual spot.
Yeah, and then like the
his guys are on the 40 yard on the opposite team's 40 yard line,
Yeah,
and the other team is on there like 35, and
yeah.
they can't move until the ball gets into the safety zone or the receiver catches the ball. That's when they and I'm not listen.
I'm
You
fine with that.
how you explained it, like you said, it's going to cut down on unnecessary injuries. You know what I mean? And again, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a play developing. The guy catches the ball, the block set up right there in front of him, and he'll get out probably to about the 20, 25 if he's nice. Because I
Yeah,
saw a couple of highlights when they were doing it in the XFL. Dudes was breaking them joints.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can still break some loose, and plus, this may also cut down on penalties, on flags.
Right,
You know,
right.
come on now. Like, I mean, the NFL is attempting to make a violent sport safer. Okay, I get it, but to really be safe about it, just take it away. But at least with them making this adjustment, I'm 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 okay with it. I know people was gonna be complaining about this. Oh, this takes away football, blah blah blah. Well, but then you complain about when your rotational guy on from your middle linebacker or your outside linebacker or or your nickel corner gets hurt on a stupid kickoff return that got returned to the 20 or the 25, where if you just took a knee, the ball was spotted at the same spot without any injury or casualties on the field. So I'm okay with that.
I dig it. I
I'm all
dig.
right.
I dig that made very very valid points, and I got no I can't really debate them because like you said, the main issue or the main criteria is trying to make the game safer. And
Cool.
at the end of the day, I remember when I don't know, this might be a little bit early for you, but I remember with the San Diego Chargers, they had a kicker named Rolf Bernerschke, right? I think he was German,
Mm,
and he had like some kind of disease or he was sickly, but he was still playing because his leg was working,
mhm,
right? And what would happen is he would kick off, right? He would boom the kick, and then he would run off the field because you
mm,
couldn't really tackle him or hit him because he was like, you know what I mean? He was sick, but he wasn't really fucked up where he couldn't really move or nothing. He could still get out there and play, but he couldn't
yeah,
he couldn't deal with no hits because then he'd be messed up. But
yeah.
I remember that Rolf Bernerschke was his name. He played for the San Diego Chargers, and when he kick off, he'd go off the field. So
That's crazy.
essentially, it was 11 against 10 when
See?
you know what I mean on the kick
Yeah,
return for the Chargers. But at the end of the day, I think if it's gonna make things safer, because like you said, 22% of kicks were returned last year. 22%.
come on now. That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Yeah.
And,
So
and go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, 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 no. I was just gonna say, and I mean that it forces you to do something with the football because if you kick it into the end zone, then I think they bring it out to what the 40 box.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so and you know what I mean. So the kicker has to, he can't kick it out of bounds. He can't kick it
No,
out the end zone. You know what I
exactly.
mean. So we got to basically
Yeah.
just kick it straight. You know what I mean. So the return guys can get to it. But yeah, the NFL man is definitely putting the strong arm on the NBA, and I'm here for it. 'Cause I want to see how Adam Silver gonna react to this because Roger Goodell, they just changing rules. They just put
Well,
in foreign countries, and they just doing what they
man,
want to do.
yeah, they just doing a lot. Um, Now a rule change that I kind of disagree on
Wait,
is
it's
the
the hip
hip
tap. Yeah,
tackle.
go ahead. The hip tackle.
How you? Where are you supposed to tackle it? You can't tackle up here. They took this away,
That horse collar, right?
right?
Mm-hmm.
They took below the knee away. I understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They took that
Chop,
away.
chop block.
Chop block
Mm-hmm.
and all that. They took.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. They took that away. So now you take away the hip tackle. So
Well,
now,
I never understood what was the
so how are
purpose
we
of
tackling?
what was so wrong with that tackle. I mean, again, if you grab the guy and then you just you dead your weight and he falls down, what's the matter with that?
They kept. Well, they're trying to emphasize that the hip tackle is causing a lot of these ACLs, high ankle sprain, injuries, but Achilles and high ankle sprain injuries.
Blaming on
But
anything but the artificial turf, right?
yeah, and that's my point. So you're telling me that what we witnessed last year with Aaron Rodgers at MetLife Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a hit tackle. He just was
Right.
just going
Let's
back,
go. Let's go, Browski. Let's
And
go.
and that field took his Achilles.
Right.
Let's talk about let me see, Sidney Brown. He was a
Hmm.
rookie in Philadelphia Eagles, MetLife Stadium. He just
Hmm.
out there trying to do his job. He out there in coverage. Boom, turf took his ACL.
Done. Mm.
Okay, and MetLife Field, that turf took many of people ACLs and Achilles last season. They had nothing really to do with hip tackle. Now they want to point out Mark Andrews. Well, he got hit tackle and he got injured. He got an ankle sprain. But how many linemen, how
How many?
many
How many?
running
You got an
backs,
ankle. You got
how
an
many
ankle
receivers
sprain.
have got an ankle sprain?
You got an ankle sprain.
They
Out for
want to
what?
point
3 weeks.
out they want to point out Patrick Mahomes last season when he got tackled and he had the injured ankle, but they didn't stop him from winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
That ankle injury ain't stop him from winning the
Again.
Super Bowl.
Again.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so my thing is, well, where are they supposed to tackle?
Right.
Because you can't, like I said, you can't hit him up high, you can't hit him down low, you can't wrap around the ankle. We're going into flag football right now. Like now they're gonna
Two
put some
hand. Two
flags
hand touch.
around.
2 hand touch territory.
Yeah, like where, like how are we tackling? I mean, the refs right now, they having a hard enough time determining what's pass interference, what's not pass interference, what's a hold, what's not a hold, what's a
They
catch,
got.
what's not a catch. And now you're trying to tell me that now this is something else that they have to, you know, keep an
They
eye
having
on.
a hard. They having a hard enough time determining who's offsides or not.
Exactly. And then you adding something else. Like we continue complaining about the bad calls that the ref make. There's footage of it. They see it, and then you add something else on their plate. But then they said, okay, we're going to give y'all two. They said, look, we're going to take away the hit tackle, but we're going to add a challenge.
Right.
So
Right.
the also new rule is if you win your challenge, you get another challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So you can potentially have 3 challenges in one game.
Right.
Which is, I said, okay, I understand that, but how many times we need challenge? How many challenges do we need? Because if the refs are doing their job at under 2 minutes, any type of call should get challenged
Should be done on
instantly.
the field. Right. Mm-hmm.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The NFL, they give it and they take it away.
The
So
same in the same damn breath.
in the
Right.
same breath. But
Absolutely.
we can move on from the NFL because we got a
I
lot more stuff to
Yeah,
talk
I
about.
mean, we get
What you
ready
got
to
up next?
deal with the draft, and we get ready to deal with all types of madness with the NFL. So it's about to go down. But I just wanted to talk about how the NFL is coming into strong arm in the NBA on Christmas. You know what I mean? And we get to watch all the rules, check the rule changes, and how they be in full effect on Christmas Day. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we in the building. This is down in Sports Talk, man. You already know what it is. March Madness. We are in the house. Someone who shall not remain nameless, kind of, and you know what? I agree. Said that the women's tournament is going to
It's
be
fire.
and then the men, and it is. But somebody said, say shall remain nameless, that the men's tournament was going to be, what was the word? Caca. Basura,
Trash. You know.
garbage,
I
trash.
mean,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
trash.
I did say that, and I still stand on that. Yeah, the men's tournament have had some good games, but you still got just having a couple upsets here and there. Can we call Kentucky an upset? Because
No.
okay, thank you. Because I've been arguing with people about that too. I'm like, it can't be called Kentucky an upset because each season they get eliminated in like the first, second round. So I'm not shocked about that.
And Calipari did. We're not going to dwell on Kentucky, But Calipari, I think, he got, caught up in his own madness and his own hype because when the one and dones was, the thing, it was all good. You know what I
It
mean?
was
Now you're one and done in the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean?
constantly.
Karma is a rude, so and so. But at the end of the day, man, we always talk about the tournament when you get these blue bloods. They play these teams that don't have anything to lose. They play these teams that if they use running gun team, fast paced team, and
All
you
the
play
time.
slows the pace down. You know what I mean? The drama and the onus is on you to beat them by 20 points because if you're down by 10 with 6 minutes to play, you're tightening up. They're loose as
Yeah.
hell. See, we're gonna
Yeah.
drop some science on y'all for y'all that don't really get what's going on out here. You know what I mean? If you got a blue blood like Kentucky, they're more nervous than the 16th seed. The 16th seed is happy to be there.
Extremely,
Absolutely. So
extremely.
if they're not beating them by 30 points in the first half, something's wrong. And
Yeah.
if they're within 10 with 10 minutes left, something's wrong. And if they're down 6 with 2 minutes left, something's really wrong. Now they really shook. And
Mm-hmm.
we asking ourselves, was Kentucky upset? Hell no, it wasn't no upset.
Nah, it wasn't.
You
But
call it you
I,
call it Brocky. This was usual. This was a day, the usual thing.
that's
Kentucky goes in the first round of the tournament, bang, one and done, huh?
one and done.
Um, where we at? Where we at with the women's? We get back to the men's tournament. Where we at with the women, Broski? What's
Oh
on your
man,
weekend?
this tournament is on fire. I'm telling you, if you guys not watching this women tournament, I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all sleeping on it. It's ridiculous. All the drama, all the drama that you can ask for. The games are fire. Um, these Sweet 16 matchups. What?
Let's
These
go,
Sweet
Browski.
16 matchups are bananas. I mean, listen, you got what? You got Iowa going against UCLA. Like that's crazy.
Mm,
Like
mm,
that's the final. Like you think if you think of that, you think that's a Final Four matchup. That could
mm-hmm.
potentially be the championship matchup. Um, you got South Carolina out here blowing everybody out by like 30 to 40 points a game. It's crazy. A lot of people thought, without having Camila Cardoza out there, coming back to the second round, they may, lose a little something sometimes, but that just hyped them up even more. Like
And
they
guess what?
destroyed North
And guess
Carolina.
what? And guess what? She's coming back.
Yeah, they destroyed North Carolina. It was like, I people thought North Carolina might have gave them a little, little resistance. Nah, they got them out the door. So you got South Carolina, Indiana, crazy
Right.
matchup right there.
That's yep, absolutely. Number one against the number four. Crazy.
Crazy matchup up there. And then you got Notre Dame and Oregon State, another
Absolutely.
crazy matchup. That rookie Hannah from Notre Dame, super talented. This is a really good Notre Dame squad. I know that at the beginning of the season they played South Carolina and South Carolina whooped them in pairs, and a lot of people kind of fell off on Notre Dame, like, oh wow, I thought this squad would, be pretty good, but we didn't expect for South Carolina to be this good.
Mm-hmm.
This was a whole rebuild team, like whole new starting five out there, and we didn't know that South Carolina was going to be that good. So for Notre Dame to pick up their boots after taking that whooping and out here crushing it in the tournament is crazy. Um, Texas and Gonzaga, another crazy matchup. NC State, Stanford, nuts. We just talk about Iowa. They play in Colorado, and we saw Colorado against start at the beginning of the season with a huge win over over LSU. Um, Colorado having a great season this year. Um, then LSU, UCLA, crazy. Uh, USC and Baylor. and UConn and Duke. It's nuts, you know. Um, you got a lot of the, what they call on the men's side, the blue bloods in this lineup, but these are the teams that we expected to be in, in the Sweet 16. The one
Mm-hmm.
team that that's kind of shocked me is Duke. Duke kind of shocked me there, but the Lady Blue Devils, have been going on a nice little tear. Um, I was crazy. It was crazy to see Ohio State go down. I know a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for Ohio State. They had
So
it.
they get beat in the Big Ten tournament.
I mean, well, yeah, that's true. Um, Syracuse, went
Yeah.
went down.
Mm-hmm.
They had
UConn.
a
Mm-hmm.
they had a decent season. Tennessee, with Kia Jackson, they went down.
Could could we put some respect on Iowa State?
Oh my
They
goodness,
have a player named Audie Crooks.
yes,
Like I don't know how to describe it. She's just a round mound of rebound.
yeah.
That's the
I
best
put
way to put it.
yeah. She's
Like,
like Charles Barkley,
yeah, yeah,
young Charles, like in his prime,
yeah,
like
yeah,
after both of all
Bucky.
them guys
Yeah.
left. Like I mean, I put it like 88, 89 Charles Barkley.
Listen, listen. So what? Can't get around it.
Exactly.
I
But
mean, like
yo,
no, and
Cook,
she's good. I think she's good for the game.
oh,
Even though they play
she's
Stanford.
amazing.
Um, yeah, she only had 10 points in that loss, but it went.
Yeah.
They did what they could do. Salute. I just want to put some respect on that on Iowa State. Again, we got some great matchups. You mentioned, Oregon State, Notre Dame, Indiana, South Carolina, North Carolina
Mhm.
State, Stanford, Gonzaga, and Texas. I mean, again, you pick pick any one of those games. Then Saturday, LSU and UCLA gets no better than that. A
It's
three
no
against,
better than that, right?
you know what I mean? Colorado and Iowa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Baylor and USC, Duke and UConn. Which uh quartet of games are better, Kim? The Friday or
Oh,
Saturday?
yeah, that's hard, yo. Um, dang, because you know what? It's Saturday. It's Saturday because you got the
I,
Caitlin Clark, you got
I
Angel
you know
Reese,
what?
you got
I
Juju,
look at
you got
you got
Paige
Caitlin
Becker.
Clark. No, you got absolutely you got
Yeah,
Angel Reese.
yep,
Then you got Caitlin Clark.
yep,
Then you got Juju Watkins.
yep,
Then you got Paige Buckets.
yep.
Like, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
I would have to go because when you look at
yeah,
Friday, we know South Carolina, you got what's her name? Flu Wally, for South Carolina, Cardoza, Chloe Kitts. Those are, legit names. And then you look at Indiana, like Indiana is like a real rounded team. They have a collective. They have a really solid squad. Then you look at Notre Dame. You got the freshman Hannah. She's good. Um, Stanford. You got I can't think of
oh,
the kid.
the shorty that just committed. She
Yeah.
just declared for the WNBA draft.
Brink.
Brink,
Brink.
yeah, Brink.
Yeah, yeah.
Cameron Brink.
So
I have to
yeah,
give
Cam
him
and Brink right there. So when you look at that, and then I can't think of the show name in Texas too. Center, she's pretty good. Gonzaga got a nice squad in NC State. So, but when we talk about star power, because the tournament is
right.
about the star power, it's Saturday, man. Saturday is going to be crazy because
Yeah,
it's you got the stars, and we want to see Juju Watkins, and she can continue this tear. Um, we want to see Paige Becker, what's her name, Alyssa, okay, Allison Edwards, who also has been injured. You know, these are ladies that have missed the tournament because of injuries. You know, each year, and to see Paige out there just dropping buckets, it's like, wow, we've been missing this in the tournament for like 2 years straight. You know, we've
Here's
been
the
missing
question.
this.
Here's the question for you, Basky. You got it, man. This is my partner right here.
Uh
Sports. We do our thing down in Sports Talk. Who's gonna win?
I knew. Well, I'm gonna say this. I got UConn over Duke. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I got UConn over Duke.
Okay.
Now this USC Baylor game is really tough because Juju has been on a roll, but Baylor is such a great squad, especially on the defensive side. You know, so uh, I'm gonna go with Juju. I gotta go. I gotta go with Juju. I've been rocking with her all season. She haven't really been letting me down. Hopefully, she won't let me down in this 316. I gotta go with
So
UFC
it's gonna be so you got Juju against Paige Buckets for a trip to the Final Four.
for trip to the Final Four, and then I kind of I got UCLA
Ooh. Mm.
over LSU. Um, and this is why, because
Mm.
their last two games, you know, it hasn't been crisp. You know, even though they won by what, like 20 something, and around the 32, but it wasn't like a real dominant game. You know, LSU, they're a little sloppy. You know, but they
It's
also
been like
have
that all
talent.
year. Mm-hmm.
So their talent overcomes their sloppiness in play.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Yep. Yes,
and
indeed.
then also Kim Mulkey is, she's out of control on the sidelines. Okay,
Say it
like
again, kid. Say it again.
out of control, out of control. Like, I don't understand why this lady hasn't gotten thrown out of the game, or at least a technical foul. She be going bananas on the sideline, and they be up by like 10, 15. She's
She's
going.
out of
You would
control.
think if you, look, if you cover up the score and mute the TV and just watch the game, you would think that LSU is getting blown the hell out in each
Mm.
of these games.
Right.
She's ridiculous on the sideline. Like, I'm just so done with Kim Mulkey that it's like, she's, to me, she's the villain of women's college basketball right now.
Mm.
You know, she's been a villain in Baylor,
Got a
and
resume.
now,
Got a resume, Kimmy. Let's go.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a villain in LSU. It's crazy how certain players tend to disappear. You know, no longer on the team anymore. A player to help you win the national title last year, all of a sudden, is not on your team. It's nothing about grades.
Mm-hmm. Transfer
Um,
portal. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's out of nowhere. She's just gone. She's just off the team. You know, so she's a villain. I just can't with her. And then I gotta, we gotta go to Iowa and Colorado. As much as Colorado's been balling, and as much as not is not just Caitlin Clark. You know, she got help from her supporting cast a lot more this season than she did last season. You know, have you noticed that, right? You see
Mm-hmm.
that, it's not just her.
Right.
Um, so I'm gonna have to go with Iowa over Colorado. Um, I'm hoping, I will hope that Colorado can upset them, because that would be a crazy upset, and it would kind of have a smudge on Caitlin Clark. But I gotta go with Iowa. And also with Caitlin Clark too, they are trying the narrative of the tournament this year is they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to make her into the villain, by saying, she's super aggressive and kind of out of control on the court. But I'm like, I said she's just competitive.
No more
She's
aggressive than
passionate.
no more aggressive than Angel Reese.
Exactly. I mean, that like they well, I mean, they tried it with Angel last year, so now I guess it didn't work on Angel. So I guess they gotta flip it on Caitlyn because she's getting a lot of shine this year. So let's turn her into a villain. And I'm like, no, she's passionate. She's very competitive. You
And I'm
know,
gonna say this: there's nothing wrong with that.
no, nothing.
They'd rather
And
see you be. They'd rather see you be passionate in the way of being a clown than be passionate about winning the game. That's just my opinion. How I see it. They rather you could be passionate all you want, long as it's ha ha ha, make me laugh, do a dance. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Make a spectacle out of yourself. But
yeah,
if you are passionate about the game, I'm not talking about jumping up and down and going berserk on the sideline when you up by 30. I'm just talking about, when you score, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be
yeah,
passionate about what you do. The name of the game is scoring. The defense
exactly,
job is what? Is to stop you.
exactly.
So that's that's
Yeah,
that's just how I look at that right there.
yeah.
So you
Uh,
got UCLA over LSU, you
yep.
got Iowa over Colorado,
Mhm.
and you got USC over Baylor and UConn over Duke. So that's Saturday. What are we looking at
Yeah.
for Friday? I know you got South Carolina already
Oh, I got
posted.
South Carolina already pinned in. Matter of fact, I got them written in permanent marker down.
Uh
Okay,
oh.
all right, permanent marker. And that Oregon State and Notre Dame game, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be really close. Um, and I'm going to go with Oregon State.
Okay.
Think Oregon State going to take it. Texas and Gonzaga. I got to rock with Texas. Texas has been very strong in the tournament so far. They've been very strong all season. And NC State and Stanford. I'm gonna go with Stanford. I'm gonna go
Okay.
with Stanford. Yeah.
So we got Stanford and Texas,
Yep.
South Carolina and Oregon State.
Yes.
Okay, that's that. I mean, well, however you slice it and look at it, this Sweet 16 is what the women's committee and the committee couldn't have hoped for a better situation with their Sweet 16. They got all their stars, their
Yeah.
names on both sides of the brackets. At the end of the day, so again, the Sweet 16 is going to be exciting this weekend, but the Elite Eight is going to even be that much more
Uh.
exciting going,
Yeah.
to Final Four, and and who's going to be, the ones that are left? Is it going to be Juju against, Caitlin? Is it going to be, what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
a lot of pieces that need to be moved around. Um, we're going to move around ourselves a little bit right now and talk some NBA just a little bit because we got the baseball preview coming up too.
Mhm.
Baseball season is about to start in about 48 hours or less.
Yes.
Um, NBA talk. What's up with your Sixers? Where we at with it? And I got a little news for you too.
I
Regarding
mean,
the Sixers.
the Sixers right now we're fighting for our playoff lives.
Yeah,
Joel's
man.
still out.
So
Uh,
sad.
we we expect him to return. It said within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're hoping more in the 2 week span. He get a couple games in to try to get back in sync with the team. That's the hopes. They haven't said any setbacks. Um, they said that he's on track. Um, so all that we doing is trying to survive until he comes back. Right now, I believe we're like in the eighth
But
seed.
you're eighth. You're eighth. You're at the
Yeah,
eighth. So
eighth.
you
I
in.
think.
You
Yeah, yeah.
in.
We're in the
Yeah.
play-in. So I mean, listen, the standings is really, really close between 8 and 6. Because right now at the end of the six, it's in six.
Right. In
At
the end of a game
41
and a
and
half in
32.
front of the Sixers. That's right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So right now we're 39 and 33. So we're only really about what 2 games. Like 2 games back. You know. We had a big victory against the Clippers. That was huge. Unfortunately, we went down against Sacramento. We got the Clippers again tomorrow. Um, I mean, if we can get a series sweep for the Clippers, that would be great because every win matters right now. Every win matters to us. But
Except if everyone matters to everybody except the Boston Celtics. You let the
yeah,
number
Boston,
10
yeah,
team you had a 30-point lead.
Boston said they in the playoffs already. They don't care.
A 30-point lead against the 10th team that's struggling, that's
Yeah,
probably going to get in to play in the
yeah,
Atlanta Hawks, and they
yeah.
came back to beat you. That doesn't really constitute a team that people should be in fear of. You know what I mean? You should be right now playing and getting yourself ready for your playoff stretch run.
No,
Because again, at the end of
that's
the day,
true.
I'm not none of these other cats. I don't know how Yada Bear feels. I mean, she's the Sixers, all day.
Oh,
But
we hate the Celtics.
I don't trust the Boston Celtics. They could be
No,
had by any of these teams in the East. They could be had.
listen. Once Joel comes back, it's open season for everybody. To be truthfully, because before he went down, he was on a historic MVP run once again. No one could stop him. Once again, only person that stopped him was himself. His body once again failed him. He got injured, but once he comes back, in my eyes, we can beat anybody, and that's the truth. I need somebody to tell me I'm lying because
I think
when Joel and he on that court,
Yada Bear's been listening to a little bit too much Meek Mill music.
nah, I ain't been listening to none of that.
A little bit to a little
Nah,
bit too much,
nah,
too much Patti LaBelle and
nah.
Teddy
Listen,
Pendergrass.
I know what
She's
the
on
facts.
Philly Dean
I
right
know the
now.
facts because
She's been
we
listening
already
to the Roots.
listen. You already seen it. You already seen it this season. That's why you saying on that. You already know that once number 21 gets back on that court, nobody's touching us. You already saw it. We gave you a preview that
Well,
at the beginning of the season.
listen, you got about 10 games left.
Yep.
So again,
Yep.
make the most of these 10 games. I think, I think, like you said, may have a little bit of truth to it because he's going to come back fresh.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think he's going to come back wilding out, but that matters a damn to a team that's number 4 in the Eastern Conference right now. My thing about the New York Knicks is that get to 50 wins. You know what I'm saying, Yada? Get the 50 wins. If you can get the 50 wins, that is show and prove to me that you were making the effort to be a top team in the East. Don't slow down because you got 45 wins. You're in the 4th seed. You think that you're in a good position. No, don't slow down. Go harder. Let me salute to Dante DiVincenzo. He had 40 points the other night.
Yeah, he did.
Where'd that come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he hit like what? He hit like 11-3.
Actually, I'm proud of how the team has been holding it down since Julius Randle been gone. You know what I mean? And OG's out. You know what I mean? And we had, Jalen was down for a time. Did you see the commercial?
What?
Did you see the commercial with Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, I seen that. I said he is a star now. He making commercials. He's a star.
I am a vibe. Look at this. Look at this here. But yeah, I'm proud of the Knicks, man. I'm just, the only thing for me is that, like you said, Browski, I'm gonna hold them to. They got to get 50 wins. They're 43-28 right now. Mm-hmm. All right, they got 11 games left, so they got 7-4. Finish that's doable. 7-4, regardless of what your schedule is, because why you're playing for playoff positioning right now. You know what I mean? You're a game in front of Orlando. You're half a game behind Cleveland. You could basically essentially get to that third
slot. Yeah, you get that third seed spot. Yeah.
If you act right, you can get to that third seed. And if you catch Milwaukee slipping, which I don't think you will right now because they figured it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got Chris Middleton back. He's back healthy. Dame is healthy, so everybody's healthy at the right time. For the Bucks. But yeah, I can definitely see you guys y'all can take that third seed. Y'all can take that third seed.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing with the West?
The West is just, you think the East is enough. Like I said, the West, you're gonna have a couple of future Hall of Famers not make it to the playoffs. I mean, right now you got. Let me just put this in like out there.
Okay.
When we first talk about the NBA season, way back, at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
We did not think that we would have the Golden State Warriors or the Phoenix Suns or Windwalker's LA Lakers or
Mm-hmm.
the Dallas Mavericks all in the play-in section.
Right.
Like
Together.
to
Right.
get this, the
Right. Right.
play-in,
Right.
it's going to
Right.
be crazy. You know, you got the 7th seed Dallas Mavericks versus the 8th seed Phoenix Suns to determine, that the 7-8 slot. Then you got the number 9 seed LA Lakers playing against number 10 seed Golden State Warriors. Who would have thought that?
Right.
Like, it's crazy that Steph, LeBron, KD, and Kyrie could potentially not be in the playoffs.
But is it a good thing? Let me ask you this, since you put it like in that from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But would it be a good thing to see, like, you got Zion, you got Anthony Edwards, you got the Joker, you got Shea Gilgis, you know what I mean? Kawhi, let's cross our fingers about that one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, is it going to be more interesting, or would it be more interesting? Because again, basketball, there's 8 spots. There's 10 teams for 8 spots. As
Yeah.
good as the West is and as deep as the West is, there's still only 10. There's 10 teams for 8 spots. So again, somebody wasn't going to make it. So again, when you talk about, we were expecting to see Phoenix was supposed to be an NBA championship material.
Phoenix is supposed to be an NBA champion. Um, the Lakers are supposed to be making a run for it. Golden State is supposed to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas. All these teams supposed to be contender. We did not see Minnesota. I mean, again, going back to the beginning, of the season, way, way back when, we didn't see Minnesota as the one top team in the West. We didn't see new the Pelicans. We see them guys. We saw them as playing games. We flipped it. Um, but to answer your question, is it a good thing? I would say yes, because when I know myself, not talking about the NBA in the past,
Mm-hmm.
my question has always been, who's going to be the stars to hold the NBA down when the LeBrons and the ADs and the KDs and the Steph,
Mm-hmm.
when these guys retire, because they are at the stage of their career where retirement is right there. They're looking at retirement in the
And
face.
they're at that stage of their career where they go to the playing game.
And that's when the retirement starts going. You start looking like you can see
Right,
it before,
right,
like two,
right.
like 2 seasons ago. You like this. You like, yeah, it's back there, but now it's inching closer and
It's
closer.
in your face like a can of mace, baby. Word up.
Exactly. So now when we see the young stars, the Anthony Edwards, the SGAs, the Jokers. I mean Zion. It's the
The
De'Aaron
home
Fox,
that
the
home win.
Rose.
What a,
Yeah.
what a pro wants, what a pro needs. That is the kind of most uh commercial I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. I like it. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. A lot of fans going to be butthurt. No Diddy.
right. No Diddy.
Going to be a little hurt because one of their favorite players, two of their favorite players might not be, in the playoffs. You may
That's
have
okay.
to.
They can meet them down at their local Home Depot where they buy items for the go. They can meet them at the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Listen. What's the deal with the kid in Toronto? Did you see that?
Uh, yeah. I,
Like,
I I cannot with it because you know what's so crazy,
mm-hmm.
and we're going to get into it a little bit later with the Shohei stuff. But it's so funny how it was so much coverage over the kid in Toronto, but where was the coverage for Shohei? It wasn't that much coverage. That's all I gotta say. But
I mean,
that's crazy.
and to me, the way they did it was so obvious. It was like, okay, I'm hurting. I'm not feeling well. I got a headache. You know what I mean? And it's just um, this thing is kind of like they these sports world. When I talk about the sports world, I say the NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL, Major League Soccer, the G League, boxing, all of that.
Oh
They
yeah,
they created a monster when they let the Vegas kind of influence what goes on, and definitely they do influence what goes on.
oh, 100%.
So the thing with Jonte Porter, I think that it's once you do something and you got their eye, they got their eye on you, they're gonna keep their eye on you, and they're
Yep.
gonna build up their case. And now the thing with the kid's name is Jonte Porter,
Yes, out
and
of Toronto.
he's been doing a lot of prop bets, which are kind of
And
like individual bets. You know what I
and
mean?
it's
Which
weird. And it's weird
involve
bets.
himself.
Yeah. He,
You know what I mean?
you know what's crazy? Because he thought he outsmarted the league by doing the prop bets because he's like, who's going to be looking at that? Who's going to
Right.
look at if I, put a couple bucks down on, if someone gets a foul within the first 5 minutes of the game? Who's going to commit the first foul and stuff like that? Like, who's really looking into that? And, well,
And
everybody.
like how it went down is like he's not a superstar dude. So like you
No.
said, the prop bet might have been like 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and one and
Yeah.
a half assists. That's a normal, that's a
That's
normal
no, yeah,
line.
that's
But
no
if you're
stat line
betting
for that kid.
if you're betting against yourself, yeah, get in the game, move around for a couple minutes, and then come out the game say that you hurt. So
Yeah.
if you bet the under, if you bet the under on yourself, of course you're gonna play a couple minutes, try to play around, and oh now I'm hurt all of a sudden, and boom, guess what? I win.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think that in this instance, and Toronto, they're gonna deal with it different. You know what I mean? Because they got
Yeah.
to deal with that and how they handle it, and then Adam Silver is going to step into the situation.
Yep.
But
Yep.
these betting things is
Out of control. It's out of control. Betting is out of control, man. Oh, you over there? Oh, look at that. My partner is over there frozen. But the betting is out of control. Started out in the NFL. The Calvin Ridley's getting suspended for a whole season. Isaiah Rodgers getting suspended for the whole season. So sports betting is wild. It's is out of control. I just don't know what else they can do and how they can monitor it. And I just don't understand how these guys think that they're not going to get caught because playing for these leagues, these guys are. I mean, you got the NBA, the NFL, MLB. They are like the feds. They know everything that you're doing. You're making millions of dollars, playing a game in their league. So you don't think that they don't know what you into. They you try to outsmart them by, doing it underneath another account, another name, using your friend's phone, having your friend take the bets for you, things like that. Like they know what you're doing. So I don't understand why take the chance of losing your career that you worked so hard for, that you went so hard to get at. You've been playing this sport since you was a kid, all the hard work, getting up early in the morning, the long practices, the injuries, to finally make it to the league and to just throw all that away for a prop bet, a bet that's a couple $100, couple $1,000, but when you're making, millions of dollars or things like that, it's just crazy to think that you'll just jeopardize yourself. Welcome back, welcome back.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I think
it's
we in the
just
building.
crazy.
Hopefully, in the building. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I just don't understand how, like, when these guys who worked so hard all their life to get to this stage in their career, that they just throw it all away on a stupid bet. We seen how these leagues work. Like I said, the leagues, they are worse than the feds. They are the IRS. They know everything, and they know everybody that you hang with and who you with. So, like I said, you try to make a bet on your friend's phone. You try to do it on a fake account. Like, they know everything, and you're going to get caught.
Good.
So it's just crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, they're gonna handle it.
Look
In
at
the Canadian fashion.
look, look at
Say it again.
look at Calvin Ridley. He wasn't
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. The
playing,
Calvin Ridley,
and,
the Isaiah Rogers, these guys lost whole seasons. Whole seasons for pay.
and he got suspended. He got suspended for making bets.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I just don't understand it. It's wild to me, but
I said, look at the kid. What was he on? Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's wild. But I think we should
yeah, yo. And when you talk, was you talking about Otani?
Oh, I was about to roll into that. I was waiting for you to come back for that.
Yeah, it really is wild with with this nonsense. Trying to get what, Brodsky? More money?
How much more money do you need? You signed a $700 million contract, right?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that Otani is probably a billionaire, because if you think about all the
What, the Otani?
endorsements, yeah, you cutting in and out. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I just think this whole Otani thing is
Yep.
crazy. Um, because at the beginning of the story, when he said,
Okay.
he flipped
All right,
he flipped the story. So once you flip this story within the first hour of the story being put out there, I instantly catch on to the lie. I already see. First, you telling me that you gave him the money to pay off his debts. Then you telling me, oh, you ain't know nothing about it. This guy is stealing from me. A massive theft. Like, you use words like massive thefts. That's wild to me. So that instantly, piqued my ears up, and I'm like, wait a minute. Otani's betting on baseball. He's betting. And the interpreter is the fall guy. That's exactly what it is. Like, you can't.
Somebody had to take the fall. But again, like you said, the way the story was presented was a really it's a I'm gonna use one of these words. It was a quagmire.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Glenn quagmire from the beginning. And I think that the Major League Baseball is at a point where they're between a rock and a hard place, because
Yeah.
Pete Rose is in the cut like this. Like, what you gonna do?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what you gonna do?
And speaking of Pete Rose, the one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I had said, I said, well, if Major League Baseball sweep this underneath the rug, which they are currently doing,
Absolutely.
that if I'm Pete Rose, I'm suing the league, right? But I'm suing not to win the case. I'm suing so that we can get to the discovery part of the case, so that now you have to put everything on the table.
Okay.
You got to put everything on the table now. And then when the evidence show that, Otani knew about it,
Put everything on the table.
yeah, and when he's placing the bets, now you have no choice but to either ban him or lift my ban.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
It's one or the
That's it.
other.
That's as simple as you could put it. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of, on one side you got, Pete Rose and, all these other people are waiting. Then on the other side, you got Gary Bettman, you got Roger Goodell, you got all these other commissioners waiting to see, you know what I mean? What Gary Bettman, not Gary Bettman, Markman is going to do, the commissioner of baseball. And he's between a rock and a hard place, man. This is the face of the league. You guys
Yep.
gave this dude $700 million. He's playing on one of the all time franchises,
And the
and
Dodgers.
betting on baseball.
And
And
and you know
you crucified the all time hits leader, who's proved his point. He's got
yes he
world
did.
championships.
Yep.
So what? So what? He somewhat ended Ray Fosse's career, and he took him out at home plate in the All-Star game. That's what people they ain't call him Charlie Hustle for nothing. Pete
And
Rose is that dude. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
deny him his proper
space in
inclusion into
Cooperstown.
Cooperstown, I think is
Yep.
a sham and a farce. And then what you're doing right now with Otani is a sham and a farce because
Yep.
Otani did it in your face. He denied it. Then they was like the people that they were saying he was sending the money to was like, nah, nigga, that was you.
Yeah, that
We
was
don't know
you.
nothing about this interpreter dude. We don't know nothing about
Yeah,
him. It's
no,
you.
we know you. We know it was you. And then when I think about it even more, I said, well, why did this come out? Well, he left the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Left a bad taste in their mouth. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to go to LA because you want to win, because that's what he said. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I want to go in the postseason. So, all right. Again, as I stated before, these teams are worse than the feds. They know everything. So we're going to drop this little tidbit to this, not big media market. Maybe like this, maybe some sports blogger that's have a nice following on Twitter and whatever. I'm just going to drop this little tidbit and just say, well, some people say he got a gambling problem. He like betting on himself. And then the games that they point out, that these bets were made. When you look at the video, you like, well, Otani, I mean, this is worse than Pete Rose because you're a pitcher. You have direct impact of how the outcome of each game. So when you look at the game, they said the one game against the
That's right.
Braves, he hanging pitches. He's hanging pitches in the strike zone. So you telling me if I got Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate and you hanging a curveball, he not gonna smack that thing out the ballpark? Come on now. You telling me
That's
you
right.
got you got you got guys like Michael Harris Jr. You hanging a fastball in the middle of the plate. He not gonna knock that out. He not gonna get a double off of that. And then you go into the batter's box and you go 0 for 3. You striking out all the time. It's like I get it. Everybody don't everybody have a game where they may strike out a million times, blah blah blah. But it's obvious strikeouts. You are gapping
And the game
slow
that you
ball.
better yourself, the
Exactly.
game that you better yourself. Come on, listen. It shouldn't take MLB this long to figure it out. They got to do an investigation. They want to stretch this thing out as long as possible because at the end result is going to be Otani's going to get suspended or he's going to get banned, and it's going to be a whole thing that Major League Baseball is going to have to dig itself out from under once
Yeah.
again.
Once
So
again.
again, they put themselves in these positions that kind of like put these guys on pedestals and stuff. Not saying that Otani's a bad guy. I don't know Otani like that, but at the end of the day, he was doing some underhanded stuff. Now being betting against himself, betting in his team and stuff like that. So again, Pete Rose is looking at this like, what are we doing?
What are we doing
You know
here?
what I mean?
And to make it even worse, he had this so-called press conference with no
Yeah,
press there.
yeah,
He sat there, read a written statement, and then left. So
right.
you telling me I can't ask this guy no questions because they
He
knew?
don't even want to. He don't even want to defend himself.
Because he know
What are you
he's
gonna
guilty.
say, right, Basky? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't do it. You're guilty
Oh, we
because
know you did it. Well,
yeah, because if I'm a
here's my
reporter,
thing.
I'm asking for well.
I'm gonna do the star report thing. Shout out, salute to the homie, the big homie. I'm gonna do the conspiracy theory thing. Anthony Rendon.
Oh, yep.
He was one of those high priced dudes when he left, got him a championship in Washington, and he was
Hmm.
going to go to the Angels, and he was going to play third base for them, and he was going to be that guy.
Yep.
Anthony Rendon has turned into a waste of money. Anthony
A
Rendon,
super waste of money.
Anthony Rendon sees Otani getting all this publicity, even more than
Yep.
Mike Trout. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And I'm gonna say this, and possibly, allegedly, Rendon could have let it slip.
Oh, he could have let us. Oh, definitely, because I mean,
I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at that neither, because he's the guy that says he don't want to play 182 games. He playing too
Yeah.
many games.
So you know what I mean? So
So
I'm getting on my I'm getting on my Florida boy Jay thing. Salute to Florida boy Jay. You know what I mean? Getting on my conspiracy thing. But here we are, 2024. We survived the big giant pizza box bases. We survived
hmm
the pitch clock. You know what I mean? We survived a whole bunch of stuff going on that went on last year in baseball. And now we're a year
hmm
removed from the introduction of the new rules. And there are more new rules. You know what I
hmm
mean? And we'll get into that as the season moves on. But we're going overtime tonight, and we're going to hit y'all with the Down to In Sports Talk MLB 2024 preview. Where we going to start first? American League or National League? We're going to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, let's go American League. We always start National League first. Let's go American.
All right. So you want to do it like that, eh? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, American League East. I look at it as basically kind of sort of a three-team race, and I'm not including the Tampa Bay Rays. I think that the Orioles are not going to be like they were last year. They're not going to win 100 games. The Orioles are going to fall off a little bit. The Blue Jays are going to step up a little bit, and the Yankees, I think, are going to be around. I think they they're talking about division titles and stuff like that. That's reputation. You know what I mean? Unless the Orioles really fall on hard times, I think that the Yankees will make the playoffs, but I still think that the Orioles could win the division. So however you want to slice it up, Orioles, Yankees, Blue Jays, I just don't think the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be a factor, and the Red Sox aren't going to be a factor either. So the American League East, give me
Yeah.
the Yankees. You already know what it is, and the Orioles as a wild card.
I'm gonna go. Hmm, I'll go with Baltimore. I like the Orioles. The Orioles are they can't be bad for that long. They had a great season last year. I think they'll piggyback off of that. I kind of do agree that I don't think they'll be as good as they was last season, but I still think they'll be good. I feel like the Yankees will, be one of those 50-50 teams that half the time they look amazing, and then the next half is like, well, what the hell's going on? You know.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, and the Blue Jays would be relevant. So I agree. I got Baltimore, Yankees, Blue Jays.
Um, American League Central. I mean, that division, has been kind of like the little sisters of the poor, for lack of a better term, for a long time now.
That's the
You know,
toss up.
even
That's the toss up one. Anybody can win that.
teams in that division, but you know what? I'm gonna, last year I talked about the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
I said they were going to be a lot better. I'm going to put some respect on them. The Minnesota Twins are the team that's supposed to win that division, right?
Yeah.
Cleveland, they fell off. I mean, they're pitching, I don't know where all that pitching with that they had.
I don't know
Um,
neither. It's crazy.
the White Sox have become a non-factor. So you know who I'm picking to win the American League Central? I'm gonna jump out the window. Kansas City Royals.
Yo.
They, they gave Bobby Witt all that money. They got
Yep.
some pitching going on. They
Yep.
they have nothing to lose. I
Yes.
think that they're going to challenge. It's going to be a long summer in Kansas City. I just think that when they move into that new stadium, they got to have the waterfall. They got to
They,
have the waterfall, and they got to have the Kansas City Royals crown, or it won't be the same. Um,
yeah.
Royals to win the division, and give me Browski. Give me the Tigers.
Mm. See, I'm with you with the Royals. I was thinking the same thing. I said, I thought I was gonna blow your mind with that, but we were on the same page. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Royals have the potential to take the Central. Um, it's a toss up between the Twins and the Tigers.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna go Twins.
Okay.
And like you said, the other teams, I don't know what happened to Cleveland. Like they had that one good season, and then I don't know what happened to them
They
in
started trading off all
2023.
their guys, the Ahmed Rosarios and
Yeah,
Oscar Gonzalez. They started getting rid of everybody. They had that
which was
pitch and they had Shane
crazy.
Bieber. I don't know what happened to those guys. You know,
Yeah,
the kid Trevor Tristan McKenzie, the young black kid. You know what I mean? I don't
hmm,
know what happened to him. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Classe, their closer, he's going to be out for a month, I think. So
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with Cleveland in that division. But yeah, we're both on the same page. We like the Kansas City
yeah,
Royals, but you like the
yeah.
Twins, and I like the Tigers. The American League West is the status quo, or can the defending world champions hold it down?
Now I think it's a status pro. I think last season was weird. I don't think the Rangers is as good as they presented themselves to be last
Mm-hmm.
season. Um, I think Houston will regain their their title as the American League West champs.
Okay.
Um, I think Texas will still be around. I'm trying to give Seattle some love, but Seattle they just always fall off at the wrong time.
Right.
They start hot,
Yeah,
they get
Julio
warm,
Gonzalez, right, going crazy, right? Uh huh.
yeah, and then they get ice cold. They
Right.
get ice cold. So I
Um,
gotta go. I'm going Houston and Texas.
the team for me, the Texas Rangers, if any other team, Browski, lost the pitching that the Texas Rangers had, they would have lost 100 games.
Yeah.
The Texas Rangers lost Scherzer, they
Yep.
lost Jacob DeGrom,
Yep.
you know what I mean, and they still ended up winning the World Series.
Still in
Um, but again, I'm with you. I think it was a fluke. It was a flash in
Yep.
the pan. It was an
Hmm.
anomaly. All of that. Give me the Houston Astros to win the division, and give me the Seattle Mariners.
There you go.
Give me the Mariners. I'm a ride with them, kind of like Gonzaga. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
They your Gonzaga
Yeah, they're my
MLB.
Gonzaga, the Seattle Mariners. What are we doing with the National League?
Uh National League is I say the same thing as you feel in the LL East. It's a two-team race. Phillies and the Braves. Okay. Um, will we overtake the Braves and win the division finally? I'm going to say no. I know what it is, but I don't care about winning the division. We have been doing this for what, almost 3 years now. I have said the same thing each year. I don't care how many games you win, because if you let the Phillies in the postseason, what happened? We either make it to the World Series or we make it to the NLCS. We have done that twice, and the Braves have won the division each of those years. Matter of fact, last year they won the division at Citizen Bank Park. And we put up, oh, congratulations, Atlanta Braves for winning the NL East. We put that on our scoreboard. We
Right.
congratulated them in our
Gracious,
home
gracious
field
losers that you are.
for,
Yeah,
for, for
yeah,
beating us. They took the title and we could care less, because anytime that the Braves and the Phillies are in the playoffs and we get matched up together, we whoop the Braves' ass each season. I can't stand none of you Braves fans too, okay? Because y'all sit up here, oh, we're gonna win 102 games. We're gonna win 103 games. I don't care. Win all those games in the regular season, because the regular season means nothing to me. And that just shows me where we're gonna be positioned in the wild card. And y'all gonna cry once again. Well, we won a division. We're number one, in our division, blah blah blah. Why should we have to play the Phillies? Why are you crying? If you're such a great team, why are you crying of who you got to play in the playoffs? It shouldn't matter who you have to play. We don't care who we play. You know, we said just get us in the postseason. I don't care what wild card spot we was in. Only thing I wanted was a home playoff game, and they gave me that. And then we turned around and we trash y'all again. I don't care. You got Spencer Strider, you got Matt Free. I don't care who's on that mound. Okay, you better listen. You better call in reinforcements. You better call in. You better bring in Chipper Jones and
The greasy talk is
Goldberg.
starting early, y'all.
As
The greasy
we
talk is
started
starting early.
early because we started the season at home against the crybaby Braves, and they better pray that it rained on Thursday. They better hope it rains on Thursday before my man
Rasky
Zach
talking
Wheeler
too
get on that
early.
mound and get you guys out of here. So once again, Braves want to win the division. Who cares? Phillies will be number 2, and we'll always be number 1 in the Braves' hearts.
I could look at that. I could take that two ways. I could take that as you know what you're talking about, and coming from a situation where you have to go through Atlanta, or Atlanta has to go through y'all to get to the World Series. I get it. But then I say, well, okay, handle them in the regular season, and have that home field advantage. But apparently, y'all don't even need home field advantage.
And that's the point. We don't care who and where we play. We come with the same energy wherever we at. So we're in Atlanta, it's a home game. We're in Philly, it's a home game. It's always a home game to us.
I'm gonna reverse it a little bit. I'm gonna say like this. I'm gonna say the Phillies are gonna win the division, and it's not gonna be close.
Oh,
And I think that the Phillies are gonna be the only team from that division to make the playoffs.
wow. See,
That's
wow, that's a wild statement. See, now y'all Braves fans, y'all come at me crazy. Y'all need to talk to that guy because
I'm with
at
it. Come on
least
with
have
it.
y'all in the postseason.
At RM Desk on Twitter. Come on, let's go.
I
I
at
think
least
that.
have
Go
y'all in
ahead.
the postseason.
I think the
This
Phillies gonna
guy
win the
over
division.
there said no.
It's not going to be close. I think that the Atlanta Braves, as much as I respect, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies is my guy. You know what I mean? I just think that they've been living on the edge. I think that window has almost kind of closed, Browski.
It's cracked.
Yeah,
Cracked.
it's a little cracked. It was wide open a couple of years ago.
It's a little cracked. Each year
Closed.
that we beat them, it closed a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit
So
more.
again, at the end of the day, I just think that the Philadelphia Phillies, regardless of what they've been through, last year was an experience for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They had Bryce Harper, at first base. He's got a full spring training over there now. The pitching over there is dare I say great.
Hey,
Dare
listen.
I say it? You know what I mean?
Look, MLB.com said we got the number 1 bullpen. I didn't say it. They said it. I said I need to see them in action during the regular season.
As long as
That's what they said.
as long as you ain't got Craig Kimbrell, you all right.
Oh, he's out. Yeah. That he's out of here.
The National League Central, I think it's going to be the Chicago Cubs all day. Craig Counsell is going to, add that shot in the arm. It's not going to be like it's not going to be the Joe Madden Chicago Cubs with Bryant and all those guys. It's not going to be like that. But I think that the Chicago Cubs have enough. You know what I mean? To kind of like battle, get through what they have to get through. Usually, Brasky knows I'm a St. Louis Cardinals guy when it comes to this division.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the Cubs because
I don't have no faith in the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I think
Cardinals
that
bad.
the Chicago Cubs, Craig Counsell bounced from the Brewers to the Cubs. That's going to add juice. You know what I mean? I kind of want to put some respect on the Pittsburgh Pirates name, but if I do that, I got to put respect on Cincinnati's name. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that division, like when we talk about flip flop, I think the Cardinals are going to be looking up at everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I think the Cardinals definitely going to be looking up to everybody else. They didn't really do much in the off season, which is wild because last season the team was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely on that Cubs train too. They brought back Cody
Yeah.
also
Yep.
to solidify their outfield and another bat. I think the Cubs going to have a good season, and you can flip whoever, Pittsburgh or Cincinnati.
Okay.
I feel like those two teams are on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati had a long drought of not having good seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So has the Pirates, but last season they showed me a lot. They got a lot of
Yeah,
young guys.
they're almost like the most exciting teams in baseball right there.
They are
Cincinnati.
the Pirates and the Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Milwaukee, I don't know what to do with the Brewers. Also, it's like, what are
Right.
they doing in Milwaukee?
Right.
Like, are these guys allergic to winning? I don't understand what's going on with the Brewers and with the Cardinals. Like, especially the Cardinals to me is the one. It's like, well, what are you like? Who's running the team? Who's the GM? You have the one season, Paul Goldsmith. He's winning all types of awards, and then the following season, you guys are trying to trade him. It's like, well, what happened?
Right.
It seemed like once everybody retired from the Cardinals,
was Yachty and Adam Wainwright left. They went crazy.
Once all guys retired, it's like the Cardinals retired. Like everybody on the Cardinals also retired.
Right.
So
and another thing about St. Louis, if Nolan Arenado played up to his contract, maybe they wouldn't be that bad. I mean, he's had decent seasons and he's done his thing, but they put this dude Nolan Arenado is supposed to be like the be all the end all. He was in Colorado. Nobody saw him play in Colorado. He was out there. Nobody saw him. He's in St. Louis where everybody's seeing him. And now what are you doing?
Nothing. Especially at third base. He's supposed to be like the premier third base.
Nolan Arenado's supposed to be that dude.
Yeah, everybody should supposed to be trying to trade for him. He's a great bat. He's amazing at third base. But it's like, what are you doing at St. Like you said, what happened when you went to St. Louis?
Right.
And we're not saying that he had terrible seasons in St. Louis. No, he has legit good seasons, but it's not good enough. He's not on. He's supposed. The way they talked about this guy is he's supposed to be on the tier of the Cody Bellingers, the Bryce Harpers, the Aaron Judge, those type. He's supposed to be in that tier, but it's like he can't take that next step. Maybe it's St. Louis. Sometimes people go to.
They say that about him in Colorado.
Oh, well, you know what? It's him. It's him.
You know what I'm saying?
I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but no, it's him.
Yeah, yo. We got the National League West left. Are we both gonna give it up to the Dodgers or what are we doing? Because the Dodgers, the National League champion comes out of this division. It's not the Dodgers. The defending National League champion is Arizona Diamondbacks.
I mean, listen, you're gonna have to give it to the Dodgers because with this guy on this team, we don't know if he's gonna be throwing the games or not. We need to know if he's betting on the games or not. I need to know, hey, Shohei, what's the over under? Or what's the over under on the runs? How many hits you gonna get? You gonna strike out 3 times in this game? You bet the under on yourself?
If you like being a free man, get it, Freeman. Don't be making the Mookie bets.
Facts.
And don't bite. I know we know y'all watching.
Oh yeah.
Don't bite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to be a free man, if you want to be a Freddie free man, don't be making the Mookie bets.
Okay.
Or you're gonna be Ohtani to jail.
Oh, right, because please don't Shohei me the money, Ohtani.
Let's go, Browski.
Please don't Shohei me the money because I need
Word
to
up,
know.
man.
You
That's
know,
what it is.
I
Um,
need
who,
to know, but I gotta do
who,
it.
who can upset the apple cart in the National League West?
I'm gonna say it again.
Who do you think can upset the apple cart? Everybody's picking the Dodgers. Who do you think could win the National League West if it's not the Dodgers?
Nobody. Another team from the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then the
You
Brooklyn
think the
Dodgers
Brooklyn
because
Dodgers?
because when you look because when you look at the West, we thought that the Padres would be, their nemesis, but the Padres can't even catch up to these guys. They didn't let Juan Soto go. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they they moving people around. They let Blake Snell go. Where Blake Snell at? He not in their rotation no more.
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Finish
Okay,
your thought. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit
so
you. Go ahead.
so
Uh-huh.
so when I look at the West, it's like Padres no, Diamondbacks frauds. They proved they was frauds. How they got beat in the World Series. You can tell that team was not supposed to be there.
Mm.
Again, it must have been, some type of, like I said, anonymity having someone placed a bet somewhere and we pushed the button, and then we got the Diamondbacks in the World Series getting
Shohei.
swept.
Shohei.
And then we got the Rockies. What are the Rockies doing? That's another team that's allergic to winning. What are the Rockies doing?
They
And what
got
are
they
the
got to figure out how to get rid of those Newport ass cigarette box looking uniforms. They got to get rid of those.
they like, are they the worst? Are they the
Yo,
worst jerseys?
I mean that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this uniform look like a Newport box.
They are the worst
But
jerseys. Like,
the team who I think may give the Dodgers some trouble, and I might be jumping out the window again, Browski. Hold me back. The
okay,
San Francisco Giants.
they okay.
You mentioned Blake Snell.
Yeah,
Blake Snell's on the Giants.
the Giants. Yeah.
They got an outfielder named Jung Ho Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and they're making comparisons to Ichiro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They try to make comparisons to Ichiro. They this
That's
this they, they got they
whoa.
got they got Jorge Soler. They
Yeah,
got I like Mike Yastrzemski. You know what I mean? The infield. I mean Matt Chapman. He's going to hit 30 home runs.
he gonna hit,
You know what
but
I'm saying?
he
But
also
the
gonna
rest of
make a
the
couple
infield is
errors.
garbage. Right. Right.
He also gonna miss. He also gonna miss a couple ground balls.
He's going to strike out 150 times.
Oh, he
That's yeah.
definitely gonna strike
Mm-hmm.
out. He gonna strike out 150 times, definitely.
I mean, if the question was what team do you think? And I mean, I don't put no faith in the Padres. We sit there,
I
been there,
definitely
done
put
that.
no faith in.
The Rockies, and the Diamondbacks
Yeah.
had their chance last year. They might fall off again. They might, fall into the same tack that,
Mm-hmm.
this season might not be as good as last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, the Giants can sneak up there. Nobody's expecting them to do anything.
That's true. They could be
You know what I
sneaky, but
mean?
I mean, how how many how
Yeah,
many how many games the Dodgers going to win? And also,
the Dodgers are going to win 110 games.
wow.
The Dodgers are going to clinch the division by Labor Day.
Okay. And they will do all of that, right? And not make the World Series.
And get beat in the first round. And get beat in the short series.
We've seen it so many times.
Word up. We gave y'all some overtime tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
We're gonna get ready to get up out of here. But how we close the show every week is we getting down on a particular topic. Yada Bear, what you getting down on this week?
Well, I'm gonna get down on the NCAA tournament and how amazing this women's tournament is, and how all of a sudden everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. I'm seeing all up and down on Twitter/X. These former Hall of Famer basketball players and these rappers, all jumping on the women's tournament bandwagon. We've been talking about this all year.
All season, absolutely. That's right.
All season, several seasons. We've been talking about women's college basketball, but it seems how now it's the popular thing. It's the lit thing to do right now. This is the hot topic right now. That everybody want to jump on the women's side, but I'm not hating on it. I'm actually happy. Please continue to talk about it because it builds up more awareness and more viewership for these games.
Right.
It keeps them, able to get these NIL deals. Congratulations to Malaysia Fuwali. She's the first women college basketball player to sign to Steph Curry's shoot. She got a shoot there. I know. Yeah. She got and she got something. She got something else too. I forgot. It's another NIL deal that she got, but she's doing her thing as a freshman.
Okay.
So please keep supporting, keep watching, keep talking about it, keep posting clips about it. I love when I go on TikTok and I see several people putting up clips and talking about the tournament, the women's tournament. They talking about the players. I love it. I'm not hating on it. Please, I'm glad that y'all watch the show secretly and get your tidbits about it and then put it on y'all platform so that it can get more exposure. I'm happy about it. Please
talk your ish, Browski. Let's go.
Okay, keep it going, and please tune in this weekend. Sweet 16 gonna be fire.
That's right.
Tune in. What you getting down on?
Listen, first things first. I want to get down on what you forgot something. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And how can I forget this? Speaking of the women's basketball tournament, I want to give a big FU to this sloppy coon. I don't understand how he has a platform. Jason Whitlock.
Yep, that's what I was getting down on. Let's go, Browski. Hit him with the double tweet. I got you. Let's go.
Comments out of his mouth. He's gonna say that nobody's checking for South Carolina Lady Gamecocks outside of South Carolina. What are you talking about? I'm in Philadelphia and I'm checking on the Gamecocks every chance I get. I go on Twitter. I see Plies on there talking about South Carolina Gamecocks. He gives Don Silly mad credit, mad facts, not only for them. Also, he gives mad credit to Caitlin Clark. He gives mad credit to women's college basketball in general. There's so many people out here in the world that's talking about these women and how competitive and how entertaining their games are. And for him to sit there and say, well, ain't nobody checking for them, nobody cares about Caitlin Clark. And like, I just can't stand this guy. And he just say these things because, just like I just said, women's college basketball is a hot topic. So he's just saying it for clicks because nobody's watching that whack show. He tried to be so conservative and so much of an Uncle Tom, and it's just ridiculous. It does nothing but make him sound and look ignorant all the time. Go ahead. That's all I gotta say about it.
I'm gonna get down on this. I'm with you, Jason Whitlock, right? Jason Whitlock is the dude, right, that in the lunchroom you would take his pudding from him and smash him in the face with it. He would go home after school and talk about you to himself in his bedroom. Jason Whitlock is a weirdo who has a platform and a microphone. Jason Whitlock is so afraid to look in the mirror. Knowledge of self does not exist with Jason Whitlock. Listen to me when I say this. Jason Whitlock is a self-hating, self-absorbed. You know why he's self-absorbed? Because those weirdos, the platform that he's on, When he owns a platform, then he can kind of like have some credence to what he says. He's saying this on somebody else's platform to do what? Like Browski said, get clicks. Jason
Yep.
Whitlock is a windbag. Jason Whitlock is a gas bag.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock has no idea what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock that says things to get reactions from people like myself and Michael D and other people who think like us.
Yep.
And when I say think like us, we're not thinking outside the box. We're not thinking outside of the realm of possibility. But Jason Whitlock is. For him to come out of his fat ass mouth
Mm-hmm.
and say nobody's checking for South Carolina. Why? And who makes you the authority on who's checking for who?
Exactly.
Who makes you, Jason Whitlock, the authority on who's checking for who? Don't let me get open, because I know what you know, right? You, some dude, come from the Midwest, in Kansas City somewhere. You gotta bring some attention to yourself. We New Yorkers, we bring the attention with us. The attention enters the room before we get there. Understand that. All the stuff that you're saying, the self-denigrating, the self-hating, because you can't do it. You came down on Dion.
Yep.
I ain't never seen you run a 4.8, 4.9, 5.3, 6.8, 40. I bet you eat the hell out of a hot dog, though. But I'm just saying to you, Jason Whitlock, man, leave Dawn Staley alone. Dawn Staley and them don't bother nobody. After that stuff went down with LSU, she showed mad professionalism.
Yes.
She apologized to everybody, something that you probably wouldn't do.
Nope.
Gas bag, you weirdo. And again, at the end of the day, check for me, because I love it. I'm Captain Clapback. Come check for me. Your journalism and my journalism can rock. You just got hired by a Hickory newspaper in Kansas City. Now you just saying stuff because that's the thing to do, to say stuff to get attention, to get clicks and to click likes. What proof? What business are you standing on to say that nobody's checking for South Carolina and Dawn Staley? What business are you standing on? What evidence do you have that nobody's checking for Dawn Staley in South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just what I be talking about, man. These cats say anything, and then they go back into their little hovels, you know what I mean, and watch everybody else with the discourse. He's loving it to people. We're talking about him right now.
Yeah, he just.
I wouldn't even be thinking about that fat bastard. I wouldn't be thinking about him right now.
No. Until he opened his mouth and said that.
You can't say that about Dawn Staley. You can't.
No.
And you know, I love me some Dawn Staley, yo. Straight like that.
I rock with Dawn heavily. As soon as I seen that,
play with me.
I just went, what? I just exploded when I saw that, and it's just like,
it's crazy.
Like what's going on here? And like you said, he says a bunch of nothing. It's nothing but buzzwords. He doesn't have original opinion about anything. He knows nothing, and he just speak to hear himself talk.
Right. And again, like you said, he speaks to hear himself talk, and then he'll sit back and watch the dust fly. Oh, Jason Whitlock said this, and he said something again. Oh, they're liking me. They're talking about me. See, unfortunately, that's not the game I play, man. I'm not, I'm not with all of that. I'm not gonna say nothing just to jump out the window and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize if I offended anybody." Nah, because we're taught to think before we speak and stand behind the things that we say. So if I'm saying that Jason Whitlock is a fat ass gas bag, right, who dips his Cheetos in lard, right, and then spews this garbage about people he probably don't even know. Does he know Dawn Staley? Has he ever been around Dawn Staley? Has he been in Dawn Staley's presence? Does he have Olympic gold medals like Dawn Staley?
Exactly.
Like, you don't want no smoke with me, B. I'm trying to take, like, and you're the man. I'm a nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not beholden to nobody. Ain't no, saying no corporates. And I can say what I want to say and do what I want to do. And I would never say nothing like the stuff that you say about Dawn Stanley, for example, or
Yeah,
about Deion Sanders, for example,
yeah,
or about black people in general, for
yeah.
example.
It's just wow. It's wow. Yeah,
You just be bugging out for no reason, man. I'm not going to, let my blood pressure go up, man. I'm going to do what I do, man. And you do what you do. Keep saying obnoxious stuff, you
exactly.
know what I mean? For the sake of saying obnoxious stuff. And we're going to be
Facts.
right here saying what we got to say, you know what I mean? Because we don't mess with you and we're beneath you. We're small
Hmm.
fries in the game. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, you can't deny the truth that we spit. Can't deny it. And on that note, I'm gonna turn it over to Brodsky. We can make it up out of here, yo.
Yeah, yeah. I don't got nothing else to say about that guy. Um, I got nothing to say about Jason Willard, but definitely I want you guys to enjoy these games this weekend. Enjoy baseball opening day on Thursday. We got a lot of matchups happening. Um, and enjoy the men's 316. And hopefully your brackets are not as busted as everyone else. There's
Man,
on the men's side, there's zero brackets out there. So
that's that
um
brackets is done.
just make sure
We're not
if
we're
you
not gonna
put
get
your
out here.
bets in.
We're not gonna get out here just yet. Brodsky just reminded me of something.
What's up?
Um, we do the baseball thing, and we're both baseball fans. I'm a big Yankee fan. I've been a Yankee fan since the 19 aughts, and Brodsky's a Philly fan, hard body karate. Never gonna
Hmm.
take nothing away from that. It's opening day, one of the best days of the year. You know what I mean? For me, it's like the opening day of football season. You know what I mean? Opening day of baseball. Um, on the sports tip. The Final Four. You
Yeah,
know, Game
yeah,
7 of the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? Game 7 of the
yeah.
World Series. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's how we look at it. We get excited and stuff like that. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention the starting pitchers for
Go right
opening
ahead.
day. Um, the Yankees are playing the Houston Astros. The Yankees are going to go with Nestor Cortez against Framber Valdez for the Houston Astros, right? Um, the Brewers and the Mets play. The Mets, they're another story. Um, Peralta is going for Milwaukee. Quintana is going for the Mets. All right. The Phillies and the Braves. I know Browski knows who's going for her Phillies. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Wheeler and Spencer Strider is going for the Atlanta Braves. All
Hmm.
right. The Angels and the Orioles. Respect to the Orioles. Rest in peace to Peter Angelos and the Angelos family. Even though I'm not gonna say nothing bad about the guy, his passing or whatever. But
Yeah,
you did the thing with the Orioles, didn't you? But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
um, Sandoval is going for the Angels, and Corbin Burns is going to make his first start for the Baltimore Orioles on Thursday. The Detroit Tigers will be in Chicago against the White Sox. Tariq Skubal for the Tigers and Crochet for the Chicago White Sox. The Twins and the Royals, all right, they're jumping off an important series to start the season. We talked about them earlier in the show. You got
hmm,
Pablo Lopez for the Minnesota Twins and Raggins for the Kansas City Royals. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Miami Marlins down in Florida. The Pirates are going to go with Keller and the Marlins are going to go with Luzardo. I think that's the guy that the Yankees were trying to
yeah.
get because Blake Snell was being an idiot. Um, Speaking of the Giants and the San Diego Padres, you got Logan Webb going for the Giants against my man, Yu Darvish. I like Yu Darvish, man. Yu Darvish, I
Yeah.
like. Um, then we got the Cardinals and the Dodgers. All right. On Thursday opening day, you got Miles Mikolos for the Cardinals and Glasnow for
Hmm.
the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. They play in the late afternoon game. You got Jose Barrios for the Blue Jays and Zach Eflin. That name might sound familiar to
Mm-hmm.
Dabrowski, Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Rays.
Yeah.
Washington Nationals are going to be in Cincinnati. All right, Josiah Gray for the Nationals against Frankie Montas for the Cincinnati Reds. His bum ass was with the Yankees for like 15 minutes, didn't do nothing. The Rangers, they're going to raise their flag with the Chicago Cubs in town. Justin Steele goes for the Cubs against Nathan Eovaldi. That should be a nice pitching matchup.
That
In
should be a
Texas
nice matchup.
tonight. Yeah. The Cleveland Guardians are going to be in Oakland. Cleveland's going with Shane Bieber, and Alex Wood is going for the Oakland A's. The Boston Red Sox will be in Seattle. All right. The Mariners are hosting Boston. We got Brayan Bello going for the Red Sox and Luis Castillo going for the Seattle Mariners. In the last game of the day, the Colorado Rockies are going to out to Arizona and watch them raise the National League Championship flag for whatever that's worth. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies and Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that is the rundown of the starters for opening day 2024. I would like to thank my co-D, Yada Bear, every time. For holding it down. We'll be back next week. We're going to be excited because the Elite Eight will be in the building. All right.
Yes.
And with the match
Yes.
out to be. And any last words before we get up out of here, Yada?
Enjoy the games.
You heard it. Enjoy the game. We out. We almost gave y'all 2 hours a night, man. You know what I mean? Put some respect on our name down in Sports Talk. You already know the vibes. Hit that like, the subscribe button, please. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like Yada said earlier in the show, they be watching.
Mm-hmm.
They be watching on the low because these topics don't get talked about until we talk about them. And I stand on that.
Facts.
We stand on that. Because we still waiting for somebody to talk about that DEI business down in Florida, huh?
Yeah, nobody want to talk about that.
Nobody want to talk about that. But we will, and we do what we have. Down in Sports Talk, we out. Don't go nowhere, Browski. We out. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Run, Puffy, run.